Good morning, children, and welcome back. Today, we are going to continue with the same chapter that we have started in our last video. That is, chapter number 12 Progression of the Empire. Before proceeding with the explanation part, let us take a review that what we have studied in our last video. We have studied about the Holkars of Indore and the Bhosles of Nagpur. That these Maratha families, how they have contributed towards the supremacy of Maratha kingdom. Now today we are going to see one more family who had given its valuable contribution to the Maratha kingdom. And it is, let's see which it is. So we are going to study about the Shindes of Gwalior, that how they have contributed towards the supremacy of Maratha kingdom, who all took initiative for this work, and the Maratha Sardars who belong to the Shindes family. So let's begin with the explanation. Bajirao I, who was the Peshwa, had rightly judged the capabilities of Ranoji Shinde, and he had made him Sardar in the north region. After the death of Ranoji, his son Jayappa Datta and Maharji took the initiative to work for Maratha kingdom, and in this initiative they had tried to prove their valor, bravery, and with their efforts tried to strengthen the Maratha rule towards North India. Peshwa Madhavrao, he had given him the family title, to whom? To Maharji, as Shinde. Maharji was a brave general and he had worked as an excellent administrator as well. He was an astute statesman. Astute means an ability to take a possible and a positive decision in any of the situation. That means a capability to handle difficulties with a positive manner, though the difficulties may be anyhow. So that positive attitude had made Maharji a great warrior in the Maratha kingdom. Maharji was a great Maratha warrior. With his efforts, he tried to re-establish the Maratha supremacy and its prestige in North India again. When the Marathas got defeated in the Third Battle of Panipat, they had to suffer a lot, and people were in the favor of these Marathas. So to re-establish that supremacy, Maharji had worked hard. He realized that the old guerrilla warfare or the old guerrilla tactics would not be sufficient to make a suitable army to fight against the enemies. So he had trained them, and he had trained this army in a modernized way to use different artilleries and under the guidance of a French military expert, and his name was de Bourgogne. With the help of this trained army, he tried to establish the powers in North India again. And he had defeated the Rohilas, Jats, the Rajputs, and the Bundelas, and taught them a lesson that it is very difficult to withstand in front of the Marathas. And with this, Maratha supremacy continued. The Britishers took advantage of this situation. They started taking interest in the politics at Delhi, and when they felt that already Marathas had got defeated in the Third Battle of Panipat, their powers might have weakened, and they are not strong enough to fight against any of the enemies. So, what they decided that they would manage to get the Divane rights of Bengal province, and these adverse conditions had made Maharji Shinde again a strong person, a great Maratha, to fight against Britishers, to defeat them in this battle, and reinstated the emperor on the throne again. That means emperor got the position, the throne of Delhi again. And who took that initiative to defeat the Britishers? The Maratha warrior Maharji Shinde. When Emperor again got his position at Delhi throne, he was pleased, he was glad with the work of Maharji Shinde. He was very much assured that none other than these Marathas would help them in this position, to hold this position. So, What did the emperor do? The emperor was pleased with his bravery and had conferred him a title. What was the title? Wakile Mutlaq. That means a chief agent of the emperor who would work for the emperor. And this had given him the authority to look after the civil and the military rights. He had accepted, Maharji Shinde had accepted this position on behalf of the minor Peshwa Savai Madhavrao. And because of this, what had happened? The Marathas gained full control over the empire, over the Delhi throne, and many regions related to that position. It was very difficult to save the tottering empire. Tottering means it was shaking. We know that because of earthquake many things shake, yes, and they collapse. So in the same way, because of the enemy's attack continuously, the empire, that is the Delhi throne, was shaking continuously. Maharji managed the difficult affairs with strong determination and looked after the Delhi affairs during 1784 CE to 1794 CE. He was the one who was the greatest Maratha warrior, and with great difficulties, still he continued his determination, his strong efforts towards the work of Delhi. That means he had looked after the work of Delhi affairs for near about 10 years in his time period. The highest of Najib Khan, who was the one who had planned out the battle at Panipat and was responsible for doing so, was not only plotting that thing, but in future also he continued the same policies towards Marathas. So he was still plotting against the Marathas in Rohilkhand, and his grandson Ghulam Qadir tried to capture the regions at Delhi. So he had captured the Red Fort, and he had tortured the emperor and his begum for the wealth, for the treasure. By seeing this, what had happened? He gouged out the emperor's eye and took hold of the royal treasure. That means he had tried to cheat the emperor and tried to capture all the royal treasure and wealth that was there in the kingdom. So, in these circumstances, Maharji had defeated Qadir, that is Ghulam Qadir, who was the grandson of Najib Khan, who had planned about the third battle of Panipat. So, once again, Marathas had tried to defeat, and he had defeated Qadir. He confiscated, that means he had took back the wealth that was being took by or captured by Ghulam Qadir. And what then he had done? And he had returned it to the emperor. Now what else he did? He had reinstated the emperor on the throne of Delhi. So he had reinstated means what? Again he had given back the position of Delhi to the emperor. And by doing this, Maharji Shinde had recovered the Maratha prestige that was lost during the third battle of Panipat. And many had thought that Marathas had lost their powers. So, by doing this work towards the Maratha supremacy, Maharji Shinde had proved that Marathas never lose hope. They continued their work till the end of their life. So, he controlled the politics of India by putting the emperor under Maratha control. That means, as emperor was in the favor of Marathas, so Maharji Shinde looked after the work of India, and along with the Delhi throne, he had tried to capture other regions that were under the control of enemies and brought back them into the Maratha kingdom. There was a family conflicts among the Peshwas, and everyone was ready to hold the position. Here Raghunath Rao thought that it was not possible for him to get the position. So he decided that he would join British camp so that he can become a Peshwa with the help of Britishers. And this was not acceptable by the Maratha statement. That means Marathas should not join hands with the enemies just for the sake of position. This was not tolerable. So what had happened? This had led to an inevitable conflict between the Marathas and the Britishers, and the conflict between the two great powers. Yeah, Marathas wanted that their kingdom or their supremacy should be within themselves. It should not be handed over, or none of the Marathas should shake hands with the Britishers. But this was done so by Raghunath Rao, and this was not acceptable by the Marathas, and this had led to a conflict between the Marathas and the Britishers. Now the Britishers and Marathas decided that who would finally rule India, that India would be under whose control. So from Mumbai, the Britishers had marched towards the Marathas via Borghat. That means that was the path where Britishers had decided that they would defeat the Marathas. And on the other side, the Maratha army gathered under the leadership of Maharji Shinde. Maharji Shinde was a great leader and who had guided that Britishers should be taught a lesson. The enemies, the ones who are considering that Marathas are weak, should be taught that no one can defeat Marathas. So the Marathas blocked the supply of food grains to the Britishers using guerrilla tactics. That means they had blocked the supply of food grains to the Britishers. When the Britishers would not get food for eating, the survival would be difficult, and that was a technique that was being used by Marathas. Now both the armies had met at Vadgaon. At present, it is Mumbai-Pune road. So this place was there where the Britishers and Marathas had come together to fight and decide that who is going to rule India. India would be under the control of Marathas or the Britishers. Britishers got defeated in this battle, and ultimately Marathas had won the battle. Britishers need to surrender, and they were forced to surrender the custody of Raghunath Rao as well to the Marathas. Yeah, Raghunath Rao had joined hand with Britishers so that he would get the position of Peshwa. But ultimately this was not possible because the Britishers were defeated in the battle at Vadgaon. Now Delhi was under the control of Marathas till 1803 CE. And when we note that the British conquered India after battling with Marathas, we understand the importance of Maharji's achievements. That means how Maharji had contributed towards the Maratha supremacy, how his work, his bravery, his valor, his courage had contributed towards the Marathas. So we cannot deny that. And what had happened after settling in order the affairs of Delhi, that means handing the position of Delhi throne to the emperor, now Maharji Shinde decided that he would come to Pune back. When Maharji Shinde came back to Pune, he died at Vanawadi and near Pune, and a memorial is built in his memory, that is in his remembrance. A museum, a place has been built where his memories are kept. So it is, you can see in the textbook as well as on page number 55, that is Shinde Chhatri, Vanawadi, Pune. So like Shindes, we have studied the Holkars and the Bhosles. Among these, we know that they have contributed a lot for the upliftment of Maratha kingdom. We have studied in this chapter. Other than that, some other prominent Maratha Sardars were also there who had rendered a noteworthy service to the Maratha Raj. That means their contribution cannot be denied. Though their information has not been there, but there are certain Sardars, even or the Maratha families, who had worked hard. So, the navy raised by Shivaji Maharaj was strengthened by Kanoji Angre and his son. Who was his son? Tulaji. So they both had what they had rendered a great service for uplifting the navy and training them in a better way to fight against the enemy. So with this strong navy, they contained the naval powers of the Portuguese, the British and the Siddhis. Means what service they have been taught, or the service that was been taught by Shivaji Maharaj was continued by Kanoji Angre and his son as well. So they were trained in a better way to fight against the enemies, and with this navy only the Britishers, the Portuguese and the Siddhis were defeated in the battle. The strong naval power that was being trained by Shivaji Maharaj had defended the coastline of the Maratha state. Khanderao Dabhade and his son Triambak Rao laid the foundation in Gujarat. That means Gujarat was also under the control of Maratha powers. And after the death of Khanderao, his wife Umabai took charge and routed the Mughal Sardar of Ahmedabad. She had conquered the fort there. That means she took initiative to teach lessons to the Mughals, and ultimately she had conquered the fort in Ahmedabad as well. And later, who the Gaikwads made Vadodara in Gujarat a seat of their power. That means Gujarat and the neighboring areas were under the control of Maratha kingdom. The power of Dhar and Dives in Madhya Pradesh rendered valuable assistance to the Shindes and the Holkars in expanding the Maratha power in the north. So they all came together, joined their hands, and contributed to capture different regions that were towards the north and bring them under the control of Maratha power. The Maratha state was in a little bit shock after the death of Peshwa Madhavrao. Nana Fadnavis, the famous administrator, looked after the work of the Peshwas and was a great statesman. That means he was an excellent administrator. Set right the affairs of the state, and with the help of Maharji, he tried to bring the Marathas into a supremacy. That means the powers of Marathas should be understood by everyone. So while Maharji was busy with the work towards the north, continuing the establishment of Maratha supremacy in the north, on the other hand, Nana Fadnavis had tried to manage the work towards the south. So why this was thing? Because both were good and both took initiative to look after the Maratha kingdom in the absence of their great Maratha Sardars. So on one side, who was there? On one side, Maharji was there, and on the other side, who was there? Nana Fadnavis towards the south. When Nana Fadnavis decided that he would look after the work of South, along with him, many other Maratha Sardars had also helped him in this work, such as the Patwardhans, that is Haripant, Phadke, and many more Sardars were there. As a result, what had happened? The Maratha supremacy was established in the south as well. Already it was there in the north, and now it was there in the south as well. So many Maratha families, such as the Holkars of Indore, we have studied, then the Bhosles of Nagpur, the Shindes of Gwalior, the Gaikwads of Vadodara, brought a good power towards the Maratha. And this Maratha power was on the basis of their valor, bravery, courage, leadership qualities, and their capabilities. That means they had tried to prove that they are capable to handle this kingdom in a better way and with trustworthy truthfulness, not with false thing. So they had shown their purity towards their Maratha kingdom. We have seen these four Maratha families who had contributed for the upliftment of Maratha kingdom. Many more prominent Sardars were there as well who had brought a supremacy towards the Maratha kingdom at its last phase. And the Maratha Sardars were successful in establishing their powers not only in north but also in south as well. After the death of Maharji Shinde, Nana Fadnavis looked after the work of the Maratha kingdom. But slowly and gradually the power started reducing. At that time, Bajirao II, that is the son of Raghunath Rao, was the Peshwa who was looking after the work of the Maratha kingdom. Bajirao II did not have any of the leadership qualities. That means he was not doing any of the good qualities that a leader should have and would get connected to his kingdom. So he had many problems. But what was the situation? He was unable to unite the Maratha Sardars, tell them about the importance of unity, how need to fight with the enemies. These all qualities were lacking with Bajirao II. So, because of this internal strife, what had happened? The Maratha power started getting weaker and weaker day by day. And this was the advantage took by the Britishers. So, during the reign of Bajirao II, what had happened? The Marathas lost their influence in north as well as in the south that was been already captured by great Maratha Sardars. So, by looking at this, the Britishers took advantage. The Britishers replaced the Marathas. So, Britishers had captured Pune in 1817 CE and hoisted their flag, that is Union Jack, there. When the Britishers in 1817 CE captured Pune, after that they had a fight with the Marathas. In 1818 CE, the Britishers defeated Marathas in the Battle of Asti that took place in Solapur district. And finally, what had happened in this battle? The Maratha power got weaker because the Britishers had won the battle, they defeated the Marathas, and the Maratha power came to an end. This event marks a major change in the history of India, and after that, the Britishers managed to look after each and every affairs of India. They gained control over major parts of India and started ruling them. People were being harassed, they were being troubled, many taxes were being collected, and situation completely changed when the Maratha powers declined. When the Marathas got defeated in this battle, the scenario completely changed. That means India was under the control of Britishers and India came in contact with different Western world. As the Britishers started capturing different regions in India and establishing their power, that led to many changes in India's social system. That means the society's thinking changed and many old traditional thinkings were redundant or were pushed aside. That means they were kept aside. The old customs and traditions that were being followed that were kept aside as the Britishers started ruling India. So this was a major transformation that took place in India when the Marathas declined their power or the powers that was declined. So a major change took place, and with this, what had happened, the medieval period of Indian history came to an end. That means that was the end of medieval history, and from this period the modern era, that is the modern period, began. So this was the time where the medieval period of Indian history came to an end. That means that was the end of medieval history, and from here the new phase started, that is the modern period. And this gave rise to many changes in India. That means a new chapter had begun in Indian history, that was a modern era. So my dear children, in this part of the video we have studied about one more Maratha family who had given their valuable contribution towards the upliftment of Maratha kingdom, and their valuable contribution had shown that how they had captured the regions towards north as well as south. So my dear children, here we end up with this chapter. Keep watching the video, read the chapter as much taught in the video. It would be easy for you to understand the chapter in a better way. So keep watching the video. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.